giant light bulb just went above.
That light bulb.
Yeah, no, Chris and I have actually talked about these when Leverage was done. He's like, all right, I'm ready, let's do this. When am I out there? When am I coming to Vancouver? Like, I don't make those decisions, but I will certainly tell people that do. So, yeah, hopefully that does happen. That would be cool. Yes, right here.
So, Jared, we were wondering if you saw that Sachs underwear DM'd you about modeling for them? Or no, asked you to DM them about modeling.
I'd love to.
For them.
We
wanted to make sure you didn't miss the...
We want to make sure you got that memo. I can print it out for you. But just want to make sure you know about this.
Do they make female underwear, by the way? I guess they probably
No
need to.
Females don't need a pouch.
They're like mountains that are like volcanoes. I'd love to. It'd be fun.
Okay, check the Twitter.
You know what's funny? Because I wanted to do it years ago. Because when they were like a young upstart company, and I found them like in some weird shop in Vancouver. This is like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. And I was like, this company's great, but you couldn't buy them. Like they were on the shelf, and then they'd run out, and they'd be like, I would like some for my travel or whatever. I was like, well, maybe if I can take some pictures, maybe I can get some free underwear. Because I guess I can afford underwear. But like 2, 3, 4 pairs of underwear. Millionaires. Sorry. Thank you for passing on to that. I will DM that. That'll be a lot of fun. But not women don't need us. Right?
I don't know. We need it. You can explore it.
I'm gonna go way over here. I see a hand with a glove.
Have you actually experienced any supernatural experiences like on set or at home?
I had a funny experience at the Driscoll's Hotel in Austin. It's a wicked hotel. And so back in the day when we had young kids, well, I guess we were younger kids, we would take date night. So we'd like get a babysitter and be like, okay, take them, see you tomorrow. Hustle off, so we stayed downtown at the Driscoll. And I had a really, I don't want to say I'm a non-believer, but I'm a skeptic because I do a TV show about extreme, I don't want to say extraterrestrial, like supernatural stuff.
There you go.
So I was like, I do a TV show about it. It'd be cheesy, but I had a totally bizarre, like sheets didn't move, and I'm looking at Jen, and then I turned the TV on, and it wasn't Mario Lopez, and always Mario Lopez. I was like, where's my Mario? But it was Dean and Benny in Purgatory. And then I turned it off and turned it back on again, and I went back to the Mario Lopez screen. He's like, and this week is The Virgin. It's about a young lady, so yeah. Senior athlete.
No. We have filmed in some pretty creepy places before. There's been some houses that we've shot in. There's one in particular, there's a couple, but there's one in particular I remember. While they're setting up, that gives us time to explore. So I went upstairs to this one house, and of course there's like signs on, the owner puts like signs on the door, like do not enter, like off limits, which is basically like, come on, try me out, come on in, I dare you to try. So there was this one like bedroom at the end of a long hall that was, the house was pretty dilapidated. It was run down, and like you walked into the shower, and it was like something out of Hostel, or like with like the rust drip like all the way down the wall, and it looked like the tub had been cleaned in years. So anyway, I walked to this door, and I just kind of opened it, and just and I get this waft of like rotting flesh. I was like, I just opened it and I got this smell of like, there is a dead person. And I just closed it and I turned and walked away. And then I found out that there was like little children living there. And yeah, look, you know, we just go to the film. But yeah, it wasn't really supernatural. It was more just kind of gross. And that wasn't even the worst one. So I'll save the worst one for another time. For never. Yes, about right there.
I just wanted to ask about, did y'all have a lot of fun doing the Hangover scene for the Valentine's Day episode? Yeah, that was hilarious, and it looks like y'all probably did have some fun making it.
It was from experience.
It was one of those things where rarely, but every now and then, we'll look at each other 11 seasons in and be like, man, this should have been a gag all along. With Dean smelling the rotten food and still going like, all right, and eating it.
Well, that wasn't in the script. I was just supposed to walk straight to the coffee, get the coffee, and start the scene. Phil was directing that episode. Phil always has some good ideas.
Also, rock, paper, scissors wasn't in the script.
That wasn't in the script either. My favorite part about that was that Dean wins, and he still doesn't get to go upstairs. He's like, I won. It's like, whatever, I'm going upstairs. He's like, okay. So even though he won, he's still kind of lost.
I don't think he cared. He finally won.
Yeah, but that's, you know, especially with certain directors, we get to kind of add those little beats and those flavors for kind of make it fun.
Yeah. With the lightsaber, Angel Blade. Sorry, if the light was reflecting off it, I was like, somebody over there has the force, I don't want to mess with it.
So, my name's Kirby, this is my first commission ever, and,
What? The hush just fell over the crowd.
sorry, people, I've gotten to know me a little bit, I guess, here, the best question is like every panel. So, I've been watching you guys since day one, so 11 years in, so love you guys a lot, and welcome back, Texas, glad to have you here. So my question is, you guys have been at the bunker since season 8, and I've been kind of thinking, you guys are kind of hogging all the really good hunting information, like from the hunting community. Like, it took you like 2 seconds to figure out that Tina's were real, you know, with the magic friends. You're like, hold on, I'm half asleep, and I'm going to go in the card catalog, and yep, here it is right here, it's in the lore, we're good. All right, he's not lying. So, do you think that like Sam and Dean should, I don't know, maybe like spread the word that they might have some information that could be helpful?
Well, I think we've had different experiences with hunters. Most hunters don't like Sam and Dean, because most hunters know that Sam and Dean started the apocalypse. I think the last big fight I got in was with the hunter, right? So I think Sam and Dean by nature are sort of not very trusting, and if we meet a hunter, or the hunter's with a demon, and we tell the demon where the bunker is, it wouldn't be very smart. So I think we know each other, we trust each other, and we've done a pretty damn good job of keeping people safe so far. So.
There's also the network of hunters, I think, is still very much alive, and Sam and Dean.
Networkbook.com.
Yes.
It's like Facebook, but we didn't hunter.
What?
Facebook. Hunter.
What else?
Facebook.
It's a yearbook with faces on it?
Face Hunt Year.
In a scene we just shot this past week, Sam looks at Dean, he's like, hey, look, here's a case, and Dean replies with, all right, well, we'll call somebody and put them on it. So I think there's still a network there that they're a part of, but I do agree that face hunt book face. Nope.
Nope.
Next question. Is it my turn?
I did lightsaber.
You did lightsaber. How about the one waving to me over there? Yes. Yes.
Me and my friend wanted to ask you what your favorite dance move was.
Favorite
Good greaser.
What my favorite or his? I know his favorite.
Both of you.
Stanky leg. Or the swing.
What does that look like?
It's too early to stanky leg. And I just showered. Maybe later.
So your leg is.
What is yours?
Favorite dance move?
Nay-nay?
Just keep it right here.
He likes to whip and nay-nay. I'm not sure. What does that mean? That means positive bad.
Probably.
He neither whips nor nay-nays. And neither should you until you're 18.
Kids, don't try to swim home.
And don't buy Sachs. All buy guys. Not Sachs. Women make a lot of sense.
Next question.
Yes, hey Mark.
According to Ghostbusters 2, today is the end of the world. I was wondering if you had plans for that shit in the future.
Is it really? They did it on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day.
I'm glad we're in Texas.
What are your plans for the last dinner, and do you know where I can get some hookers and love?
Well, yes. Plans for the last day on Earth? Well, if today's the day, then I guess it's to spend it with you guys. So. Day's not over yet.
And the second part of the question, if you go out the back exit, the corridor, take 3 rights and a left. Walk 100 paces and ask for fresh flowers. But not Sachs.
Is that for the hookers or the blow?
You'll see. I'm gonna go right here, 2 in from the alley. Yes.
Hi, I was wondering, my name's Shannon Hunter. I'm from Jersey. I was wondering if you could pick one person that's on TV, any character, to be in Supernatural, who would it be?
Jensen Gilbert.
There's a lot of television on right now. No. No.
I think we found that Walter White on.
He's not on television right now.
On reruns? Can they be on reruns?
On Netflix. On Netflix. Gosh.
Who would you want?
Jon Snow.
Jon
Snow.
I would say either Stephen Amell or Robbie Amell.
Oh yeah. It would be fun. It would be fun. Both those guys are great guys. It would be fun to have them on. I would love to see Oliver and Dean not get along. Yeah. Plus, I like making Amell feel short.
You make it.
Or anyone.
Yeah.
With him especially, I like to make fun of him. He was doing some crazy workout on Facebook. He was like, "Hey, somebody help me think of a name." And it was like a ab roller with a barbell going into a clean, into like a snatch, to overhead raise, and then back. And he was like, "Hey, everybody help me name this." People were like, "The Killer, the Annihilator." And I was like, "How about the warm-up?"
Oh my God, savage!
He texted me immediately. He's like, "That's pretty funny." Can't let you have it. Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody with some powers to help us out when we need.
We could have that angel from Constantine. Oh, wait.
No, we have them.
We have them. They're not on TV. I didn't know what the rules were. Carmen, we should have more common conversation.
Yes, we need Morgan from The Walking Dead.
That'd be weird because he's already been something. Yeah, do we kill you or hug you or where are you?
I don't know how.
Clinger from MASH.
Never mind. I don't.
Jim Gaffigan. Key and Peele.
Yes! Woo!
Your turn.
Yes. Yeah.
Minor hits.
Both of them. So, what's your funniest dad story?
A lot of the stories. So I just had a great, actually, experience for parents of young kids. You probably know a show called Wild Kratts. Wild Kratts is on loop in my house, literally. Like it's just running through my head. And Tom, especially, pretends to activate his creature powers. And Wild Kratts happened to be doing a live stage show in Austin a couple weeks back. And I was like, my God, I could be the dad of the year. So I called my agent, was like, hey, can you see if we can meet them or something? And so they set up a meet and greet, and the guys kind of knew of Supernatural, and I'd seen a few episodes. They were excited, and we were sitting there watching the stage, and the actual Wild Krat human beings come out, Mark and Chris, for those who don't know. And instead of watching, I spent the hour and a half of the show just looking down the aisle at my kids, because they were like, I mean, it was, literally I turned to Jen and I was like, I think this is terrible, because Tom and Shep have had the happiest moment of their life, both working and school. So that was super fun to me, because it was legitimately, they could not believe it. And they, even last night, they're wearing their Wild Krat clothes and activating creature powers, and they just were pigs and shit. I can get away with that in Texas. So it's also nuttier than schools.
Mine. Yeah, mine's not so good. JJ's awesome. She's, a little over 2.5. We were in Austin. We were out of his property, and I was there with JJ. There was a playground, and there was a big oak tree, and they had a ladder where they just hammered 2x4s to make a ladder onto a tree. And where it splits, the big slide that goes down the other side. So there were a few kids running around. JJ was like, "Do you want to go get the slide?" I was like, "All right." We had to climb up the tree. It was almost maybe 8 feet before you had to crawl over the split tree and then head down the slide. So it was a little dicey. So I stood by while she was climbing, and I was standing right there in case she slipped or fell or something. And then she was kind of taking it because it was a little uneven, so she was kind of taking her time getting up there. And this girl walks up, about the same size as JJ. She walks up and she's like, "I can climb it faster than that."
The girl was never heard from again.
So I go, "Is that right? How old are you?" She goes, "I'm 4. I'm like, "Oh." And I looked around. I go, "Well, she's only 2.5. When she turns 4, she'll be able to climb it faster than you."
Way to go, Dad.
Good job, Dad.
There are those times where someone's babying your kid and you're like, "Hey, where are your parents?" The ones that are looking away? Okay, I will end you.
I will end you.
The ones that aren't looking right? Okay, kid, I will
Yeah. And I walked away going, "Okay, so that's the kind of dad you're gonna be."
Absolutely.
That's great.
Why can't you be like that?
Yes.
I see something waving. I'll go with the waving flag. The waving flag? Yes, that one. Okay, you're back. Sorry, everything's a little bright. the greatest idea of all time. Get it? Stop talking. The amount of lumens. Why is he still talking? Easy for you to say.
I have a question for both of you, and I'm sorry if I get a little emotional. As parents, and as someone that's dealt with depression, if your child was diagnosed with it at an early age, my son just turned 11, and he's been bullied for the past year, how would you handle it as parents?
Talk about it. Talk about it. Yeah, talk about it. Say, you know, it'll have to be there. All you can be is here, right? I mean, you can't fix anything. But I mean, I've dealt with it. I'm here. A lot of people have. So, you know, just talk about it. You know, talk with professional. Okay?
Yeah, we've got it out there for him.
Great. Great. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, as you can tell by my last story, we certainly aren't the best of parents. But yeah, I would certainly say that to get somebody professional on your side to help mentor you and how to take care of it would be the first step. But yeah. Sure. Okay. How about right there? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first of all, Jared, the hair is on point this year.
Bunch of little points, but I get it.
I get it.
And just if we hit season 12, how do you feel knowing that you will be the same age that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was when the show started?
We've talked about this.
Where is your 26-year-old hunter son?
Yeah. Yeah, because Jeff, I think, is 11 years older than me. And, you know, I'm sure you all know that when, after we shot the pilot and we got picked up for, the series got picked up, they looked to recast the dad as an older actor, because Jeff was only 11 years older. And they were like, you know, because in the pilot, he's the, you know.
The big scene in the pilot was obviously the flashback.
Right, flashback when Sam and Dean are little. And so they were going to look to cast an older actor to play John Winchester. And I don't remember how the decision was made, but they finally just were like, you know, let's just gray Jeff up a bit. Put some gray in his stubble and maybe gray his hair a little bit and just make him look a little older, even though he's, you know, too young to really be our father. But they did that anyway, and I think they made the right decision. I think he did awesome.
Yeah.
We have a funny thing where, because we've been on for over 10 years, we call it the 3-decade club.
My goal was to, by the time Dean got to where Jeff was when he started the show, I was like, I gotta get my voice as low as his. So I've been working on that for 11 years. And now I need medical help. So
You always need medical help.
Shut up.
I'm going to go to the very end.
Thank you. Love the show. My daughter was wondering, Van Hagar or Van Halen?
Oh gosh.
Sammy Hagar or Van Halen? I'm going to go Van Halen.
You're gonna go David Lee Roth?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a Van Halen story that's fantastic.
The man.
Tell us.
So I was at Ralph's in California when I was maybe 21, 22 years old, and they sell beer in the grocery stores until like 1:59 a.m. And so we were gonna have a night. So we went to the grocery store to buy some beer, and when I get in the line, there's a guy who is a small guy. He maybe a homeless man or something, but he had an open like Hawaiian shirt, brown leather skin. He was buying a bunch of $2 chuck, which I don't know if y'all know $2 chuck. Charles Shaw wine, they call it $2 chuck because it's always like $1 or $2. And it was like a special, and there was a special on, I guess. It was like 16 bottles, like 4 bottles of Merlot, 4 bottles of Pastel, 4 bottles of this. And I was like, geez, this guy's going to town. Thinking like, you know, he's loading up because I think it was a special of the weekend or something. And so I'm just making conversation.
Just start raging alcoholics.
So I kind of making conversation, and I'm like, that must be good. And he looks back and he's like, you never have it? And I was like, I never have it. He's like, well, follow me here at the farm. He takes me to the end of the aisle where all these wines are for sale. It's like limit 4 per varietal or something. And he's like, well, listen. So I just kind of just humored the guy. Grab a couple bottles and go back to the line. And the clerk, the cashier, asks for this gentleman's ID. And the guy's like, you don't think I'm 20, he's clearly